This happened 18 months ago when my parents decided they were finally going to live a little. Their words, not mine. They sold their business, bought a luxury RV the size of a small aircraft carrier, and set off to tour the country for 6 months, which left me with their house. Perfect timing, honestly. My lease was up, I freelance from home, free rent, good Wi-Fi, subscriptions I didn't pay for. Everyone wins. My mom gave me the grand tour like I hadn't lived there for 20 years. The breaker box sticks sometimes. The upstairs shower drips. Don't throw away the boxes in the garage. And then she mentioned the new neighbor. Mr. Harlan, she said. He's very quiet, keeps to himself, ex-military, very disciplined, very respectful. The way she said respectful made me suspicious. I hadn't seen him yet. Apparently, he'd just moved in a few months prior and mostly stayed indoors. She said he worked remotely, doing security consulting. That should have been my first red flag. I met him 3 days after my parents left. I was bringing groceries in when I felt someone watching me. Not casually, not neighborly, assessing. I turned. He was standing at the edge of his driveway. Mid-60s, tall, lean in that dangerous coiled way, the kind of posture you don't lose unless you're dead. Buzzed gray hair, expression neutral, eyes sharp. He smiled, but it didn't reach them. He introduced himself, voice calm, steady, controlled. He didn't ask what I did for work. He asked how long I'd be staying alone. That was red flag number 2. The first weird thing happened a week later. I woke up at 3:12 a.m. No reason, no noise, just that feeling. You know the one, like someone is looking at you. My bedroom was on the 2nd floor, curtains drawn, door locked. I checked the window, nothing. Checked the closet, nothing. I told myself I was being dramatic. Then the packages started arriving. Amazon boxes I didn't order. Inside them, camera equipment, cheap stuff, off-brand, tiny lenses, micro SD cards, no receipts, no sender. I assumed it was a delivery mistake, until I went into the attic. Our attic wasn't finished, just insulation, beams, and the old plywood floor my dad had laid down decades ago. I only went up there because I heard something, a faint hum, like electronics. The sound wasn't coming from our side. It was coming from the crawl space between our house and the neighbors. There's a narrow gap where the 2 roof lines nearly touch, and someone had cut through the drywall, neatly, professionally. Cables ran through the hole. My stomach dropped. I followed them. They led to 2 freshly drilled holes in the attic floor, one above my bedroom, one above the upstairs bathroom. Inside the holes were pinhole lenses, hidden perfectly. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt cold, very, very cold. I crawled through the opening into his attic. I don't know why, adrenaline, I guess. On the other side was a folding table, a laptop, 2 live feeds, one of my bedroom, one of my bathroom, and folders. So many folders, dated, organized, categorized. My hand started shaking. I didn't look at everything. I couldn't. I unplugged the laptop. Then I did something smarter than I probably deserved credit for. I didn't delete anything. I took pictures of everything with my phone. Every folder name, every timestamp, every feed. Then I left. I didn't call the police. And before you judge me, understand this. When I was 21, I reported someone. It didn't go well. So no, I didn't call the police. I called my cousin. He works in cybersecurity. I told him everything. He went very quiet. Then he said, "Do not touch anything else." He came over the next night. We went back into the attic. He copied the hard drive, installed something, left something, and then we waited. 3 days later, I heard screaming, real screaming from next door.
I peeked through the blinds. Mr. Harlan was outside, holding his phone, smashing it against the pavement. He ran back inside. Minutes later, I heard it. From his open windows, a woman's voice on loop, calm, automated, reading file names. Bedroom footage, April 14th. Bathroom footage, May 2nd. Subject, female, age, estimated 29. Over and over and over. My cousin had embedded the file structure into every device on his network. TV, laptop, tablet, security system. Anytime he powered something on, it auto-played. And here's the part that made it brilliant. It auto-uploaded everything to a timed server, encrypted. If he tried to wipe the system, it sent the files to a preset email list, including one labeled Harlan Consulting Clients. Within a week, his house was dark. Within 2, movers came. Within 3, police cars arrived. I don't know who reported him. Maybe a client, maybe someone else he'd been filming. Maybe he panicked and slipped up. All I know is he's serving time, and every device he'd ever owned betrayed him. I still check ceilings. I still wake up at 3:12 sometimes. But if anyone's watching now, they're watching someone who knows how to look back.
My parents lived in that house for 23 years. It was the kind of house you inherit, not buy. My grandfather built it himself, brick by brick, on a long, narrow lot that backed onto a stretch of wooded land. The backyard wasn't huge, but it felt private, safe, ours. And then the Kellers moved in next door. At first, they were just intense. Mr. Keller introduced himself within an hour of the moving truck arriving. Tall, broad, perfectly ironed polo shirt, smile that showed too many teeth. He didn't ask about the neighborhood. He asked about the property lines, specifically how far our fence extended. My dad laughed it off. Same place it's been since 1989. Mr. Keller didn't laugh. 2 weeks later, we got the first letter. It looked official, heavy paper, legal formatting, letterhead from a firm none of us recognized. It claimed our fence was encroaching on the Keller property by 8 inches. 8 inches. And because of that encroachment, they demanded compensation for restricted development potential, totaling $180,000. My mom cried. My dad called a real lawyer. The firm listed on the letter didn't exist. The phone number redirected to a prepaid cell. That should have ended it. It didn't. A second letter arrived. Same fake firm. This time they offered to settle if we moved the fence back 6 feet. 6 feet. That would have taken a third of our yard. My dad finally got angry. He had the property surveyed. Turns out, if anything, their retaining wall was 5 inches onto our land. When our lawyer sent that information over, everything went quiet for about a month. Then the small things started. Our garbage cans were knocked over every Tuesday night, every single week. No wind, no animals, just ours. The motion light on the side of our house was smashed. Our garden hose was sliced cleanly in half. We installed cameras. Nothing. Either the footage glitched or it happened just outside frame every time. Then the notes started. Cut out magazine letters left in our mailbox. You know what you did. Move the fence. You will regret this. They accused us of poisoning their dog. We don't own poison. They accused us of damaging their car. We hadn't. The police came, shrugged, no proof. It escalated the year my little brother turned 12. One note mentioned his school. Another mentioned the time his bus arrived home. That's when my parents stopped pretending it was about land. They started walking him to the stop. My dad installed floodlights. Mr. Keller started smiling again. The worst part? They played victim perfectly. They filed noise complaints against us, called the HOA about our unsightly lawn, told neighbors we were aggressive, manipulative, dangerous. We became the problem, not them. The breaking point came at 3:33 a.m. every Wednesday, like clockwork. They blasted orchestral music, full volume, windows open. But when police arrived, silence. Every time, like they knew. My brother stopped sleeping. My mom lost weight. My dad started grinding his teeth so hard he cracked a molar. 5 years. 5 years of that. Then the fire. Small at first. Our mulch bed ignited, contained quickly. No accelerant found. Then it happened again and again. Always small, always just enough to scare, never enough to charge anyone. The police suggested we consider locating for peace of mind. Imagine that, leaving your childhood home because someone next door is unhinged. We moved. We sold below value just to escape. I remember looking at the fence the last day, still exactly where it had always been. We didn't lose the land, we just lost everything else. There isn't a satisfying ending, not for us, but there is something. About 8 months after we moved, I got a call from an old neighbor. Mr. Keller's son had come home. He'd been discharged from the military, not honorably. There were rumors, violence, debt, substance abuse. One night, police cars filled the street. The son had broken into his own parents' house, held them there for hours, tore the place apart looking for cash. When officers finally entered, Mr. Keller had both kneecaps shattered. His wife was in shock. The son was arrested 3 days later. He never explained why he did it. I don't believe in karma. I don't think the universe keeps score. But I do think something happens to people who live in constant cruelty. It rots them from the inside. It grows in their homes, in their children, in their walls. We drove past that house once. The fence is gone. The yard is overgrown. And for the first time in my life, I felt like the land had finally taken something back.